Guys, it's Mallory Varner with GSG, and I'm the Vinyl Decorating Segment Manager. We're in our series, Creating the Holiday Spirit, where we are partnering with 6 of our different manufacturers, and we are showing you some different things you can do with their material for the holidays and ways you can help grow your business this holiday season. So we are going to, at the end of this video, be sure and stay tuned for you to find out how you could win $500. All right, so we are going to start off this series with Avery Dennison. Avery provides a huge sign shops, commercial shops, designers, a broad range of pressure-sensitive materials, and they are just one of our good partners in the graphic side, and we're excited for y'all to see what they are doing with their pressure-sensitive vinyl. Again, stay tuned at the end to find out how to win $500. All right, so now we are going to go see what creative Halloween funness we are going to get going with Avery.
My name is Molly Waters.
I'm Destiny Rotuno, and today we're going to be making a Halloween backdrop using Avery Dennison vinyl.
So kind of to make this, the timing was great when we decided to do this project. My sister literally had reached out to me and asked me to make a backdrop for her 3 kids. So we started in on this this project. You know, for our background, you'll see I'm using black vinyl. You can use whatever you have around the house to use your backdrop. If I hadn't had all this vinyl here at my house, since I work for Avery Dennison, I've got lots of it. But I would have probably used a sheet or a piece of cardboard or poster board. You know, you really can use whatever you want as your backdrop. And then I went online and found a file that looked fun, and we kind of broke it up into different segments so that we could do the different colors using our film on my little silhouette cutter. So we're using for the white is the Avery Dennison HP 750 white. The HP 750, actually for all of it is HP 750, which is our calendared film. And so we've got the orange for the Happy Halloween. We got a purple film here, and we took these files into the silhouette, and you know, this is our spider, and Destiny's actually weeding one over here. We're going to take this and we're going to put what we call an application tape or a pre-mask on top of this. So either one of these, there's a clear or there's a paper. And really, it just depends on what you prefer to use. The clear is pretty nice. I think it's very common in the crafting side of the business because you can see through it and it helps with placement. So we're going to take this, and the way I like to pre-mask is I like to roll it out on the table like this. So it's a little bit bigger than what I'm masking. And then I'll lay my subject on top. And then I like to use these razor knives. You can see these are actually Avery Dennison branded, but they have breakaway blades. So when the blade gets dull, I can snap it off, and then I have a fresh blade. These are really common in the car wrapping side of our business, but they're really handy when you're doing crafts as well. So now I've got that on here, but it's not, the pre-mask isn't down really good. So I'm actually going to squeegee it into place. See, Destiny, we did one, so we've got another small one. You want to apply it? We're going to let Destiny apply this, and I'm going to pre-mask this next one. Actually, I'm going to do purple. Oh, you broke that one.
We're using Avery Dennison squeegees. We have red, blue. We use both the felt side and the hard card side. When I was weeding, I actually used an Avery Dennison pin tool. These are used actually really popularly in the wrap industry as well. They help get bubbles out of the material if you apply and you see a bubble, but we've discovered they actually work really well for weeding because it's so sharp on the edge. So we like to use those for weeding too. And again, as Molly said, this clear transfer tape is really nice because as you see here, we have lines where we want to make sure our spiders are coming down from the web. So the clear transfer tape will actually help us line up so that make sure he's coming down from the web. And the web itself, we also cut out. Molly can walk you through how we actually got the web in such a large format.
So I do use a silhouette cutter, And I have the business edition, so I don't know if this is available in the regular version of the Silhouette, but there's a tiling option where you can actually go in and tell it you have a larger size graphic, and it will tile, and you can have a 1/2 inch overlap, which is what I have built in. And so that allows me to line up those panels, so, and not have to worry about little spaces in between. So there's 4 panels of film there that we applied. Destiny's got the next one, and we've got a couple bats. So here's a difference in the pre-mask. So this one is using the paper, and then this is, again, that clear, it's a synthetic material. I guess it's not polyester, but it's some sort of plastic type material.
And both of these transfer types are medium tack. We definitely wanted something that wasn't going to be super sticky, since we are applying to vinyl. We didn't want the black vinyl to peel up with our design. So we chose a medium tack tape, which you can see works really well for our project, what we chose here.
One trick when you're taking the liner off, I like to put it kind of face down and peel back. That'll help make sure that you don't pull your graphic back up off the pre-mask. So now we've got a bat. Where do you want to put that, Destiny?
Let's go to the top.
So we're going to put him up here. We'll actually even overlap it a little bit. And the other thing that it's a good idea, when you're pulling this off, try and pull it at a 180-degree angle back on itself. That keeps from pulling it back up off of whatever you're applying it to. If you've ever struggled with getting that application or pre-mask off, you'll find this way makes it a little bit easier. So we're having a little fun here with just all the different shapes. You want to do the next one? Where does he go?
Oh, Molly, can you layer those, like, regardless of what material? Like, how do you
You can, if the one thing I found, like, if you have matte materials, the matte finish, you want to make sure you wipe those down with isopropyl alcohol, because the matte other stuff doesn't like to stick to it. I don't think there's a whole lot of that in our crafter world, but if there is, that's one thing I would recommend. But yeah, you can layer. If you had something, or if we wanted to put eyes on our spider, we could cut some white film and put it on there. So yeah, definitely layering lets you get different effects.
that popping pin is a good one when you need to cut out eyes and stuff, I guess, when you're thinking about weeding.
And what's super fun about this backdrop, as Molly said, this is actually going to be used with kids for her nieces and nephew. It's going to be used for a Halloween party there, but you could do really anything you wanted with this. We picked this one because we had colors on hand that work with it. I think when we're finished, we might add a little black cat down there in the corner, just to add. I'm a cat person, so I wanted to add a little spooky black cat down there in the corner. But really, you can have fun with this. You can add whatever you want, use whatever colors you want. I'm not sure if you can see, we'll make sure we get some great photos so you can see that the bat at the top is actually using our ultra metallic. So the bat at the top's a little bit sparkly, so you can use different textures to add to it, different colors. And we also made these really cute props because the idea here is to use this as the background. When maybe the kids are walking into the party, they're all dressed in costume, you want to stop and get a picture of them on the way in. This would be a really great way to do that. And we added some props here to do that. So this is actually, we cut the kind of speech bubbles and then our bat here in the back, you can see the bat. We cut those just out of poster board, but again, you could really use anything stable that you have there.
And kind of after we finished this, I realized that we probably could have applied vinyl on top of that poster board, because the Silhouette software allows you to do a double cut. So we would have been able to cut that and get through the vinyl and the bubbles. So I may try that after we're done here, just to do a couple of ones that are a little bit more colorful for the kids.
Yeah, and so these bubbles, obviously you can put whatever sayings you want. Again, we wanted to keep ours appropriate for children. So we have a couple here that'll be fun for the school. But we just took regular buckets that we found at the craft store and applied our vinyl on the front. This is actually reflective vinyl, so this will be kind of cool if there's any lights or any different lighting that is at the party, because this will reflect that light off of there. And then all we did for the bubbles was we just cut out our sayings and used our vinyl, same way we applied to the back, we applied them to the bubbles. And then we got extra resourceful because, you know, you always have scraps lying around. We actually use the scraps to attach them. So you can really use all of your vinyl that you have laying around for this project, whether to tape it on or use any scraps even for the words. If you wanted to decorate the bats a little bit, change their color, add some eyes, whatever you wanted to do for that, you can really use whatever you have on hand to make this project.
And the sticks are just 1/8-inch dowels that we got from the craft store. They were 3 feet long, and I just used a little cutter and snipped them off. So, you know, those were really inexpensive. It might be a little bit lower cost doing it that way than trying to find specific ones that are, you know, 12 inches long.
So is this vinyl good to use outdoor? Like if I, you know, was having a party or if I want trick-or-treaters to come up and be able to play with it? Could you put
Absolutely.
it on windows or something?
Yeah, you could. And actually that might be something fun that we do as well. We could, you know, especially for shorter term, I wouldn't probably put it up and leave it for a year because it might leave a little adhesive on your window. But
And you'll be that house with Halloween decoration up all year round.
I don't put it on your walls, you know, for a long time. But yeah, I think for shorter term, especially on windows, you know, we could decorate the windows of the house with different shapes and, you know, be festive for the different holidays and definitely do something like that. And actually, this being on our wrap, I happen to have a bunch of our Supreme wrap film that we use for car wraps, just because I do a lot of testing for my role at Avery Dennison. But it's very possible. I don't know if this is for a party my sister's having or if it's at the school. But if it's at the school, this will likely get applied to a wall outdoors and be up for an hour and then come back down and we'll just throw it away. So that was the other reason I put it on vinyl, is because I knew the possibility of how she might use it.
That's really cool. So teachers could use it as well as like if it's a corporation like a car dealership or something, they could have it up and make it something fun with it as well.
Yeah, and I've actually done this numerous times for different things, different backgrounds. I've had customers will print something for me. We did a camouflage background that we put up when they were doing a field day at the school, and they just had that background. And I put the event and the year, and I've done that for like the last 3 years for their school. So then the moms and the sons or daughters go and have their picture taken in front of it.
Now every school is going to be calling you.
Now they know we're secret.
Everybody needs to have a sister that's in the industry.
Right.
This is a really fun idea because we could have done this for any holiday. You can do one for fall, leave it up all year as kids come in and out. But again, you can personalize it however you want and use the same idea. Now that I know Molly's an expert on backdrops, maybe she can make us one for other holidays.
I think I might add the year to this too, so that, you know, for future, if we do it again, then we'll have a year on it. And this was a fun project. We had a lot of fun last night putting this all together. So
you said like you picked, like I know you picked that vinyl because you have it and because you knew that they might apply it, but you said maybe a sheet or something. So is there any application tips or something if someone is using a sheet or something different?
You know, if you're using a sheet, it's going to be a little bit harder because the film's not going to stick to that quite as well. So when you're taking that pre-mask or application tape off, you're probably going to have to go a little bit slower. You know, probably using poster board or something like that's going to be your next best surface. But a sheet was something I thought worth trying. The one challenge we ran into is normally I have pictures up here on this wall. So I took the pictures down and I didn't want to put a bunch of holes in my wall. So I thumbtacked right below where the hangers were. And it was a little bit of a challenge because it wasn't firmly attached to the wall. And I think using something like cardboard or poster board in that sense might have been a little bit easier because it would have been rigid.
Just kind of a harder substrate for sure.
Yeah, or if you had a piece of plywood and you painted it white or something or black, you know, you could paint that, and rigid substrates would really work well. But it did work, and using that medium tack pre-mask we still could pull it off without, pulling the film back off the wall.
Okay. So same with like cardboard when y'all put on the little signs. Did you have any issues with that?
No, she when Destiny pulled that mask off, she did go slowly just to make sure. That way, if something did lift up, she could just tap it back down with her finger. But
and we make sure we use the squeegee. I usually use the hard side of the squeegee and go along the back with the. I go usually on both sides when I'm using transfer tape, just to make sure it does stick to that, especially on the paper. But there were no issues. I used the medium tack, the clear transfer tape with that, and there were no issues with sticking to the poster board on there.
And I think, one thing, and I know you guys carry these squeegees, it doesn't matter what color you use, but these are really handy. It's kind of, using the right tools for the job will really make your projects go better. So having these nice squeegees where you can firmly push the film down and not using our fingers. And these really aren't that expensive. They're a few dollars. And then same with the knives, having a knife that you can break those blades away and always have a sharp tip. Those types of things will make things go a lot better. That's one of the things when I follow on some of the crafting forums, seeing people using like the pin tools to lift film up or pop bubbles. Those things, it seems like it just really does make the job go easier and faster.
They don't use a credit card and use a squeegee.
Yeah, I have used a credit card. But,
I think we all have an industry, but so why would you use like the sharp side? Sorry, why would you use the sharp side versus the felt side? Like where have y'all seen where that matters a lot?
The felt side is softer. If you're risking, scratching something or, on my wall, because it's got a texture to it, using the soft side, when we push, the felt on there might conform a little bit more around the texture, and it seemed like it went on well. When I'm applying the application tape, or I use the term interchangeably, pre-mask or application tape, but when I use that, a lot of times use the hard side, because then it really gets it pressed firmly down onto our decal before we go to apply it. So you want to make sure it's applied well, so that when you go to separate them, that the film comes with the pre-mask before you apply it on. I feel like we're missing something here too. We'll probably have to put a bat.
Yeah, we'll put another bat at the bottom.
Well, it looks great. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. One thing I'll mention too, the files, there's a lot of places that you can get free file or free images from. There's others, you can buy them and they're maybe $1 or $2, but Vecteezy has a lot of free files, and that's where this came from. It's vecteezy.com. So we might check them out for some stuff. And again, there's just a lot of places you can find different files that might meet your needs.
Awesome. And these are uploaded for everyone. So they'll be able to take the ones you've got.
Cool.
Thank you, girls, so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. That was awesome. I love that backdrop. I think it's such a great idea, not just for personal reasons, but also, for schools and businesses this holiday season. I think that's such a good idea. All right. So I know you're wondering, how do I win $500? Well, what you need to do is get some Avery vinyl, and I need you to start making some fun projects for me. You just need to tag me on either Instagram or Facebook at GSG Vinyl Decorating, and then hashtag creating the holiday spirit, or you can email me at vinyldecorating@gogsg.com. And then what you need to do is tell me what materials you use to make your project, and any details, the more the better, about what you did to make that. So maybe it is that backdrop. Definitely check out the files, the artwork files that Avery has provided us. And please check out part 2 and 3 of the Avery Creating the Holiday Spirit.